Hi, I'm Rebecca from Little Adventure Shop, and today I'm really excited because I'm being joined by James, who is one of the UK Deuter experts, and we're going to talk about all things to do with the Deuter Baby Carriers. That's how to fit them and some top tips to make sure you're getting the most out of them. Okay, James, thanks so much for coming in. You've brought with you today the Deuter Kid Comfort, and just for reference, we're going to talk about kind of generic things across the whole of the Deuter Baby Carrier range. So we're going to start with sizing. So in terms of sizes for adults, we get asked this all the time. What is the sort of recommended range for the full Deuter Baby Carriers?
We'd say these should fit people from about 5'4" up to 6'2",
Okay.
so a metric about 160 to 185 centimetres.
Yeah, yeah. So again, that's ladies and guys out there, so it fits most people in reality. Okay, so in terms of, you've bought your baby carrier, what do you need to do to get it to fit the adult?
So the first thing to do is to, like you say, start with the parent. If you can get the parent fitted first, it makes it much easier, so you're ready to go when you want to start walking.
Yeah. So
when we look at the back of the carrier here, if we pull these straps out of the way, we've got an adjustable back system, and I think you can see here we've got these orange tapes, so I can put my hand through here. If I lift the lever at the bottom and pull, we can make this taller to fit a taller back. And if you want to make it shorter, there's an orange tab. Pull that down, and you can set it down for a smaller person.
So I'm about 5'6", so we're going to set it whereabout?
Just about medium. It has got a small, medium, large sign printed on there.
Okay.
We'll put it on medium for you. We'll start there.
Yeah.
See if we
See
make
how
need
it
to
goes.
adjust.
Brilliant.
Just before you pop it on, it's worth having a look as well at this hip belt.
Yeah.
So you do want to take most of the weight of the carrier on your hips, and then there's a little line stitched in here. Try and get that line to sit actually on your hip bones rather than around your waist.
So the fact it's called a waist belt, actually, it's more of a hip belt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Well, let me try this on. As I said, I'm 5'6", and we can just have a go at fitting it to me, and it'll give you an idea. So I'm just going to close this at the back to start with, and right, pop it on. Here we go.
That's it.
So first of all, we're going to look at the waist belt, or as I said, we should call it really the hip belt.
Yep.
Right, so I'm putting it on here. Now that's moving up and down. Is that right?
No, you want to make that quite tight. So think like how you might do your shoelaces up. Pull it so it's firm, so that you're aware it's there.
Okay, so I'm going to pull these forward. So that is really quite snug now. Yeah. I can't really move that up and down easily. So that's about right.
That's great, because we want, like I say, about 80% of the weight to be through your hips there.
Okay.
So it's really important to get that nice and snug.
Yeah, and in fact, I can just to show you how tight it should be, if I can actually just take the shoulder straps off there, and it's still basically staying in position. So obviously don't do this when you've got your child in there, but it's a good idea to just feel that quite nice and tight around your hips. Yeah. See loads of people taking all the weight through their shoulders. So definitely get this hip belt fitted right. Okay, and now the shoulder straps.
Yep, so these ones don't need to be as tight. You don't want to pull those so tight they're digging in or hurting, but if you grab the strap here and just pull that down, what we're looking for is for the curve of the shoulder strap to really match the curve of the body. So we see here on Rebecca's back and shoulders, we're filling this gap really nicely. If you have big gaps here, it can pull on the front of your arm. Okay. And you want the buckle on the edge of that strap to be near the edge of your armpit there. And that's just really good weight distribution, spreading that load.
And so just put a bit of weight through that, and I'll check I can.
So I can push down there. Yeah,
so I'm feeling that weight coming through the hip belt now, and then just at the end of getting a little bit on the shoulders, but I'm carrying all the weight there through my hip belt. So that feels really secure, actually. It feels comfortable.
And while you've got it on, the last couple of adjustments you can make, there is a chest strap. That's worth using as well. You can click that tight just to sort of keep the load centred onto your shoulders. Yeah. And then finally, just on here, we've got these top tensioners. And again, we can make those just done so there's a little bit of tension on them, and that brings the carrier nice and close to your back, and again makes it much easier with the weight going down rather than hanging backwards.
Okay, that makes sense. And there is a one lower down as well, isn't there? So as I said, I'm 5'6", and I'm okay on this top buckle, but if I was much shorter, I would take this strap out and move it to the buckle that I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's just below there somewhere. So great. No, that feels really comfy. And really important, guys, is that when you first get this, assuming your baby's sort of 6 months old and you buy it from you, you're not going to be too worried about the weight, and you won't really feel it going through the hip belt. But trust me, once your child's 2 or 3 years of age, if you've got this set up wrong, you're really going to know about it. So it's worth taking some time to get it fitted to you before you even think about getting your baby in there. Yeah. So talking of babies, let's talk about them next. So let's open this back out again.
Okay. So just a note on that, we'd say this is good for a child up to 18 kilos.
Okay.
So that could be 2, 3, maybe even 4 years old.
Yeah.
So quite a big child.
And from when they need to be able to kind of sit up by themselves, so about 6 months when you start using it.
Yeah, absolutely. When it comes to put the child in, they can be quite wriggly, quite tricky to get into a small space. So we've tried to make this as easy as possible. So these yellow buckles all open up, and that means you can actually undo this strap here. You can bring it right round, and a nice trick is you can tuck the buckle into the string at the back, and that'll just hold this open, so it's really easy now to
That's
see what
really
you're
useful,
doing.
isn't it? You can actually see what's going on down here when your little one's wriggling around and maybe complaining about getting put in the baby carrier.
And again, if we undo this buckle here, there's a really easy way. You can put them in from the side or lower them in from the top, whatever's easiest for you and for them. Once the child is in, we have got some adjustment in the seat. So again, small children will sit nice and high. As the child gets bigger, the seat drops down lower and lower. So rather than getting taller and taller in the carrier, they stay in about the same place and become really stable in there.
And the buckles for those, just in case you're wondering, it's up under the pillow here. So it's a bit difficult to show on camera, but if you feel up there, you'll find the buckle to lower the seat.
Yeah. What we'd look for with that is for the child's chin just to be at the sort of middle level of this cushion.
Okay, that's
so
a good
that
tip.
if they fall asleep, it just means they've got something soft to rest on.
Yeah.
Another really useful thing is it means their head is about the same height as your head.
Right.
So if you fit under a branch or through a doorway, so do they.
No, that is a good point. I've seen lots of people with the kids' heads up here and they're much lower, and it's really easy to whack them if you're not careful because you're just not aware of how high they are behind you. Great. No, very good point there. And obviously the shoulder straps are adjustable as well. You can move those up and down as your baby grows. So great.
Yeah. Once they're in, it's a 5-point harness, so really secure, like you'd find on a car seat or a pushchair. One buckle across the top, and then this other buckle just clicks in at the front, down here, and then that's your child in there, safe and secure.
And the yellow buckles are really important. They must all be done up before you start lifting your child around. And then finally you just pull this one round out and close them up.
So that can come back round. That closes up, and you'll see as we close that and pull it all tight, this all closes here and just makes a really snug, secure place for the child to be when they're in the carrier.
That's a good point actually. If you can just see there, guys, it's like a nice little cockpit area then when you put the sides together. We get asked sometimes about which is the best Deuter Baby Carrier for my kid to fall asleep in. Truth is, I don't think it really matters, does it?
No.
They're all very similar at this end of the carrier. And the children tend to always fall forward, sleep forward when they're in the carrier. And how long does it take for your kids to fall asleep?
Well, with both of my two, it was 10 minutes or so. We'd start our walk and they'd be out.
So it's a little bonus of getting a baby carrier. You get a bit of quiet time as well. So there we go. And there's one more thing we want to talk about, which is James's party trick here. So with the baby carriers, all except the Deuter Pro, you get a separate sun cover, and this is it here. It slides. If you just show, it slides in.
So really easy to use. It just drops into 2 little tubes at the back, and then we've got a buckle at the front here. That comes down and clicks on. There's one on each side. So on a hot day, you're just giving your child that little bit of extra protection from the elements.
A bit of a sunshade going on there. Just quickly, just mention, when you are using a baby carrier, just remember your child's much more exposed than they would be in a pushchair or a pram. So think about what they're wearing and sun protection and warmth as well, because they will get much colder than in a pushchair and they will be exposed to more sun than they are in the pushchair. So just always think about that. But so when you don't want to use this, here's your party trick. How do you store it?
We can remove that, take it out from the top there.
Okay.
And the easiest way is just to have it so the logo on the front is facing you. Grab it with 2 hands, give it a gentle twist, and it folds up into that circular shape. And then it's really easy to stuff this now and keep it out of the way. So the most secure place in this pocket in the back, and if you tuck the tops under there, that's in out of the way, and there's still loads of room in the back of the carrier.
Yeah, tons of room for the nappies and whatever else you want to take with you. So there we go. So hopefully, thanks James so much.
You're welcome.
That was really useful. So hopefully it's given you some tips. Again, take your time fitting the baby carrier to yourself. It's really important. Again, like I said, when your baby doesn't weigh much, it's not really going to make a difference to you. But as they get older and heavier, it will really make a difference to how long you're more comfortable carrying them, and how comfortable they are as well, particularly with the height of the baby seat. Make sure you drop that down as your baby grows, so they're not sort of toitering over the top here. Some really good tips. Thanks, James.
No, you're welcome.
If we've missed anything and you want to have some more questions, please use the comments section below. And as always, if you like this video, it really helps us if you'd like and subscribe to our channel. Many thanks.